Hello YouTubers and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna do a video that is unusual for my channel. I'm going to talk about food, but if you knew me on my everyday life you wouldn't be surprised because, to be honest, I am a great cook, but I love cooking. I love food, I love cooking. I love to know exactly what I have on my plate. I love to know what I eat. I love to know the consequences of what I eat on my body. So I'm going to share with you a few tips that I use on my everyday life, and I hope you'll enjoy watching. So stay tuned. My first tip is to eat slower, because it is scientifically proven that from the moment you start eating, it takes 20 minutes for our brain to receive the information that we are full. When you are full, it's not your stomach who is speaking to you. It is actually your brain who receives the information. So if you take 10 minutes, for instance, to eat a full plate of pasta, after the 10 minutes you're done with this plate and you still feel hungry because your brain still has not received the message. So you go and take another plate because you still feel hungry. Let's say you take at least 20 minutes to eat this full plate of pasta. At the end of the 20 minutes, you may have not finished this plate of pasta and feel full already because your brain received the information. So you don't finish this full plate of pasta and you don't go and take another plate. So I think it is worth it to take your time to make sure your brain received the correct information. My second tip is to eat what you cook. Processed food, takeaways at this Chinese restaurant or this Mexican restaurant, junk food, all of this you don't realize, but to make it tastier for you, there is always more sugar or more fat or more salt, and all of this add calories. If you actually cook yourself, you know exactly what is in the food that you are eating. Let's say, for instance, that you buy already made cake or cookies in the store. They add a lot of sugar into it, but you don't see it. You just buy it and you eat it and it is tasty and you keep eating and eating again. If you cook your own cake, you know exactly what is the amount of sugar that you put in it. So when you start eating it, you are more conscious to stop, because you know, okay, it is tasty, it is good, but I shouldn't abuse of this cake because I know the amount of sugar I put in it. Now you may think, yes, but into those processed food and junk food, sometimes there is written 0% fat or 0% sugar. But if a company has to remove all the sugar or all the fat from one product that is supposed to have fat, don't you think they have replaced this fat by something else? And I saw a documentary last time where they were showing, they tell you they remove the fat. So okay, there is 0% fat in this product, but they don't tell you what they put instead of the fat, because they have to put something to replace it anyway. So most of the time, if there is 0% fat, there is more likely more sugar. If there is 0% sugar, there is more likely more fat. So in the end, you don't win. Don't think that because there is 0% of this or 0% of that, it is healthy. No, it is not. It's just a marketing process to push you to buy this product thinking it is healthy. And I know we live in 2015 and sometimes you may think you don't have a time to cook every single day. And to be honest with you, I don't cook every single day. I can cook anything, but during the week, I'm not going to spend my time doing fancy recipes. I have to work, I have my life. So one advice I can give to you is maybe to eat more salads, because salads are really quick to do. You don't need to cook anything. You can use fresh veggies. It is pretty easy to do your own salad sauce. You can find recipes on YouTube, on the blog, on the books. It is pretty quick to do, and you have fresh vegetables. Another tip will be to cook a lot on the weekend. This is something that I like to do. On the weekend, I may cook several meals and I put them in the frozen. So during the week, I don't need to cook anymore. I just need to take this or that meal that I cooked on the weekend. Another tip would be that you shouldn't be afraid of frozen vegetables. I know that the healthiest way, of course, is to eat organic vegetables. If you have vegetables in your garden, it's even better because you keep most of the vitamins. But let's be honest, you may not have time to go and buy fresh vegetables all the time. And even if you do, if you don't cook them pretty quick, it's gonna get damaged in your kitchen, and you will have to throw this away. So it's not worth it. So my advice would be to mix fresh vegetables with frozen vegetables. And when I talk about frozen vegetables, I'm not talking about those vegetables which are mixed with sauce and all of the other things. This for me is processed food. I'm talking about green beans, where you only have green beans frozen. You won't have the full potential of the vegetables, but frozen vegetables still have a lot of vitamins. My third tip is to eat vegetables at every single meal. Vegetables are full of vitamin. They do not contain any sugar. They have fibers. They only have good things. So if you eat pasta, I don't think pasta is the end of the road. You know, many people think that, oh, I'm eating pasta, so I'm gonna gain weight. Of course, if you eat full plate of pasta with a lot of processed tomato sauce, you might gain weight. But who told you you have to eat a full plate of pasta with processed tomato sauce? You can eat half a plate of pasta with a lot of vegetable mixed to it and some fish, and you're good. And if you don't want to eat the pasta mixed with your vegetables, because for instance, I love bolognese pasta, and bolognese pasta, despite the tomatoes, there is not vegetables into it. And if I eat bolognese pasta, I don't want to have vegetables. I want to eat bolognese pasta. So what I do is eat a salad full of vegetables before you eat your bolognese pasta, because by eating the salad before, you won't need to eat that much of bolognese pasta because you will feel full faster. My fourth tip is to stay away from fruit juice. I know in the advertising we tell you, oh, you should drink orange juice in the morning. It is full of vitamin C. It's the amount of vitamin C you need for a full day. But they don't tell you the amount of sugar there is in orange juice, for instance. Now you may think, okay, but I do my fresh orange juice myself in the morning. But still, of course, it is better to do your own fresh orange juice. But if you take this in the morning every single day, there is still sugar. Yes, there is vitamins, but there is still sugar into it. So the thing is, rather than having 2 or 3 glasses of orange juice, it's better to eat an orange, because it is less likely that you feel the need to eat 3 oranges in the morning. The thing is, with fruit juice, it is easy. You just serve it in a glass, you drink it, it's good, it's sweet, so we have a tendency to add another glass of juice and to drink again, and maybe a third glass of juice during the day. But we forget that despite the vitamins, there is still a lot of sugar, and we tend to take more of fruit juice than to eat the actual fruits. I can eat 4 glasses of apple juice for sure, just like that, fresh organic apple juice. but I cannot eat 4 apples in half an hour. It's not possible. I will feel full before. So if you eat the actual fruit, you still get the vitamins, but you don't have a tendency to overeat, so you avoid having too much sugar. So I don't think the fresh juice are bad. I just think that having the habit of having a fresh juice every day is not the best habit you can get. My fifth tip is to do your grocery shopping with a full stomach, because when you feel hungry, your body has a tendency to focus on high caloric food because it needs energy. So if you go in a grocery store with your empty stomach, you'll have a tendency to be attracted by junk food which contains high calories. That's just how the human body works. So if you go with a full stomach and you want to buy healthy food, it will be easier for you to only focus on the healthy food. Another tip would be that if it is still difficult for you and you're still attracted by this junk food, I will tell you, before you put this in your thing, take a look at the ingredient list, because you might be surprised. It is very trendy now to pay attention to the ingredient list that we have in our shampoos, for instance, but people don't seem to be concerned about the ingredients that you have in some junk food. Do you really know what you're eating when you drink a soda, when you eat those already made Italian pasta? So, for instance, one day I remember I went to a grocery store and I absolutely wanted to eat chicken nuggets, which I usually don't eat, but this day I was like, I want chicken nuggets. So I was at the grocery and I found something, chicken nuggets, and I was going to grab it and take it with me. But because I read the ingredient list, that's what I do if it is something that I'm not used to eat. So I looked at the ingredient list, and I think the chicken was only 10% of those chicken nuggets. 10% only of chicken. So you may think, oh, I'm eating chicken. No, you're eating salt, you're eating oils, you're also eating sugar, you're eating all of those things that I cannot even pronounce the name, and you're only eating 10% of chicken. Is it really worth it? I don't think so. My sixth and last tip is to make a difference in your diet between your everyday eating habit and the exception. Because of course during those past minutes I told you stay away from juice, stay away from junk food, soft drinks, all of this, and you know, eat healthy, eat vegetables, cook yourself, okay, but you may be in a situation where you don't have the choice. If you go to a friend's place and all they have to offer you is soft drink, are you going to say, oh no, I'm sorry, I only eat the fruits itself? It is a little bit rude, so we also need to adapt. If I go to someone's place and all they have to offer me is Coca-Cola, you know, I may say no and say, oh no, I prefer water. Okay, but then they offer you some chips or some kind of junk food and you say no also, and then they offer you something else and you say no. Okay, we need to adapt. So it's okay to go outside and have a glass of Coke once in a while. It's okay to travel and sometimes you don't have a choice, so you are outside and you need to take something as a takeaway that is not super healthy. It's okay, but it should be the exception. Like in your place, in your home, you should be surrounded by healthy food, because you only eat what you have. If you don't have junk food at home, if you don't have cokes, if all you have is vegetables, things you have to cook yourself, and fresh fruits, that's what you're gonna eat on an everyday basis. Now, if sometimes you go outside to eat, if sometimes you go to a friend, if sometimes you want to bring your kids to McDonald's, then do it, you know, as long as it stays the exception. Because if you stay too focused on, oh, I should eat this, oh, I'm outside, but I can't do this, I can't do that, you will become obsessed with food and you will develop an unhealthy relationship with food. And that's not what we want. We want to have a healthy relationship with food, but we have to be clear on what is our everyday eating habit. And yes, sometimes there will be some exceptions, and that is okay. I hope those tips will help you. Those tips are what I use every single day, not because I'm the smartest girl when it comes to food, but because I was raised this way by my mom. So I never thought about that. I just do it because this is how I was raised, and this is how I was taught to do. So I hope those tips will help you, and I'll see you on my next video. If you have any questions or any comments or any more tips that I have not addressed in this video, please leave a comment, let us know. I will read it for sure. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.